Hello and welcome. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. So the channel's experienced quite a bit of growth in a much quicker time than I had expected. So I had some ideas prepared, but they weren't quite ready yet. So I don't have any content lined up to get pushed out. That's why I'm recording this video. I had a couple people in the comments want to know more, hear more stories about my time in, so I figured I'll pick one and tell you. This one actually kind of pertains to the missile story that I told last video. Because if the events in this story had played out a little bit differently, I never would have made that mistake and that video never would have happened because I wouldn't have been there. This story starts off at an M203 grenade range on the School of Infantry SOI, East Coast, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. So we get done with our course of fire and we all line up, and the instructors, two sergeants, are going down. We'll call them Sergeant A and B because I don't want to put their names out there on the internet at the moment. They're going down there checking to make sure no Maroots have snuck any M203 grenade rounds into their pockets and trying to walk them off the range. Well, they get to the first kid. 4 people down from me. The 0352 instructor, my instructor, the guy in charge of all the anti-tank missilemen and picking who becomes an anti-tank missileman. He looks down at this kid's Kevlar and he finds a can of dip. Now for context. We were told before we started this range to not have any tobacco products on our persons at all at any point. If we were caught with it, there was going to be trouble. A few of us didn't take that to heart, that kid being one of them. Well, instructor finds this dip and is very upset. He snatches the kid out of the line without even finishing lining him out, pulls him to the side, and gives him one of the biggest ass chewings I've ever seen. Like, it was bad. Up one side and down the other. Yells at this kid for a good 15 minutes, and at the end of it, it's like, okay, kid, you wanted to disobey a direct order from me? You don't want to listen to me when I tell you? You don't have the respect for me to not carry dip in the field after I told you not to? Guess what? You're going to dip the whole can. So kid looks at him in a horror. Sergeant, go ahead, put the whole can in your mouth, son. Oh, kid opens his can, takes this giant chunk of tobacco, shoves it all in his face. Well, if you've ever done any tobacco products like that, you know what happens when you have way too much nicotine all at once. Kid naturally starts vomiting everywhere. Everywhere. While the kid's out there puking his guts out, Sergeant in question, Sergeant A, looks at him like, okay, well, there's that. Guess what? I'm now also kicking you out of weapons platoon, and you're now going to be a basic rifleman. Not a fun thing. Riflemen hike a lot. That's why it's good to be in weapons platoon, because you're usually in a truck or sitting in the back of a fob somewhere working mortars. You don't want to be a rifleman just walking around with stupid amounts of weight on your back. So while Sergeant A is over here giving this kid the ass chewing of a lifetime, Sergeant B is still walking down the line checking our shit. This is a problem for me because I look down into my Kevlar and right there dead center is a nice giant can of Skull Wintergreen in the pouches. This is bad. I'm over here looking at this kid and I see my future unfolding before me. I'm about to have to eat this entire can of dip. I got a few problems I got to overcome, and I got to overcome them quickly. Number one, I can't leave the line, so I can't go somewhere else to dispose of this stuff. If I try to leave the line, that's just going to draw more attention, and is a huge no-no when you're getting lined out after a live fire range. So, that's not good. The second one is I got this can of dip here that I know if I get found with, I'm going to be destroyed. So that's kind of a problem. And 3, I'm the 4th person in the line. Guy number 1 is over there getting lifed out and dying and puking on his own boots. Guy number 2 is in the process of being inspected. So I gotta think quickly. And thank God I actually can do that sometimes. Because guy number 1 is getting stuff dumped out. I noticed that the sergeant is taking his Kevlar, dumping it upside down, kind of spreading his stuff out so he can see all of it, looking around at the pile he has created, and then moving on to the next person. He's still on the second person, thank God. So, I see that. I take my Kevlar, I dump it upside down. I spread my stuff around. I take my beanie, amongst the random crap a fucking private first class has in their pockets, patriotic cookies, fucking, I don't remember what else I had in my waterproofing bag, MRE trash. Yeah, just a bunch of junk you don't even need. And I take my beanie, which is also in my pocket, and I just gently lay it over that can of Skull Wintergreen. And I wait and pray. This is where the gods were on my side. I don't know which ones, but some divine fucking power was watching me at this time. Sergeant walks up, inspects the guy next to me. I'm acting all nonchalant and as cool as I possibly can, sweating internally and screaming. He walks up to me, looks at my pile of stuff I've created on the ground for him. Oh, you're good. Doesn't touch a thing and moves on to the guy next to me. I sit there, sigh the biggest fucking sigh of relief in my life. Kid next to me looks over at me. Nelms, you are the sneakiest son of a bitch I've ever seen. Because he was watching all this unfold. He saw the cannon dip in my Kevlar and knew I was headed for destination fucked. As Aussie Man Reviews would say. And saw me play it off like it was fucking nothing. Well, I reached down. So thanks, man. Appreciate that. Grabbed that cannon dip in my beanie. Put it in my pocket. Fucking grab the rest of my junk. Run away. Find the MREs because we were about to go to chow. Pop one open, eat the stuff in it real quick, take the can of dip, drop it into the MRE bag inside the beanie still. Kind of did one of these moves, let the can of dip go inside the beanie. That's not important. But I get it inside the bag. I throw that into the trash bag full of other MREs. So if it did pop out and was found later, they couldn't blame me for it. Although I probably would have fessed up if they were like, who did this? Because I wouldn't want to fuck the rest of my guys over. I'm not that big of an asshole. I mean, I'm an asshole, but not that big of one. And move on with my day, making sure to pay more attention in the future when the sergeants tell me not to do something. And luckily it all worked out in the end. I was still able to become a 52 and was not kicked out of weapons platoon and messed up one hell of a missile shot. Yeah, that's that. Not the best story on the planet, but I mean it related to the previous stuff, so I thought I'd go ahead and tell it. Yeah, this is all I got for now. Actually, quick channel update before you go. If you've watched to this point, I appreciate you. I need that sweet watch time to be able to actually get some freaking revenue from this. Be able to get more junk for the background here, better camera, better mic, you know, that kind of jazz. Because y'all got me monetized. Y'all are amazing for that. Where am I going with this? Yes. Channel update. So I do plan on continuing to do DIY stuff here and there, but that actually takes a lot longer to do because I'm working full-time at the moment. This kind of stuff is a little bit simpler. It's just me running my mouth. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to continue to just do military stories because, quite frankly, that's a finite amount of content I can produce. I only spent 5 years in, so I have a limited pool of stories to pull from. However, I do have a bunch of military manuals still, like a crap ton of them. I got a tank armor identification book I paid $50 for and opened 3 times. And a lot of you guys seem to like tanks and like knowledge, so I'm thinking about maybe doing a segment, hopefully every Tuesday or every other Tuesday, that I'm going to call Tank Tuesdays. And possibly break down and just talk about a random tank out of that damn book. You know, get my money's back for it if I can. So, that's that. That's the direction we're looking at going at the moment. I have a couple of other ideas, a couple other stories. The next video I will do, if I don't do Tank Tuesday this Tuesday, probably not, because that's a lot of setup. But I might break down a TOW missile and how it functions a little bit more in depth than I did in the previous video. Yeah. That's all I got. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Don't really know what I'm doing here, but I'm trying my best. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, yeah. Hit all the buttons down below. Appreciate it. Have a good one, and remember, be belligerent, but don't be stupid. That's a new catchphrase I'm working on. Yeah. I don't think it's that good. We'll see. Goodbye.